the world's best women's sevens players at a critical phase of the HSBC World Rugby Women's Sevens Series. Welcome to Kitakyushu, Japan for leg 4 of 6, where these fast, fit, powerful athletes showcase their skills around the globe. A new season brought with it a new tournament. Glendale, Colorado. New Zealand picked up where they left off.
Portia Woodman showing a lot of fitness. Back-to-back scores for her. Ruby Tui's there. Portia Woodman's there. Ruby Tui's there. You go have it, number 11. You go eat some. The champions, New Zealand.
To Dubai, a traditional stop on the HSBC World Series where it was more of the same from the Kiwis. Broughton extends the lead for New Zealand. Teresa Fitzpatrick, one way then the other, and finds Nathan Wong. That might be the one for New Zealand. The Dubai Sevens trophy back in the hands of the New Zealand team once more. Australia were back in the final at their home tournament in Sydney, but once again New Zealand took the spoils. Quirk's coming across. Can she get there? Is Blythe going to have too much gas? Of course she is. Broughton's got Blythe outside her, and Michaela Blythe will go in for a hat-trick in the final. On Australian soil, New Zealand are the HSBC Sydney Sevens champions. Leg 4 brings us to Kitakyushu, Japan, the Olympic hosts in 2020. The penultimate round in Langford, Canada could have a huge impact on the overall fortunes of many teams. Then the series reaches its climax on the French coast in June as the champions are crowned in Biarritz. So much at stake for the teams here in Kitakyushu. The series standing so far after 3 full rounds. New Zealand, USA, Canada and Australia holding the critical top 4 spots. Those are the automatic Olympic qualifying spots at the end of the season. France and Ireland will look to close the gap this weekend. And then down at the bottom, China, Fiji and Spain in a real battle to stay up in the World Series at the top tier as core teams. Crucial series points on the line here in Kitakyushu, this wonderful southern Japanese city. Russia's in for another.
Mikaltsova sitting at the top of the try-scoring list.
Mikaltsova once more. Oh, she just creates something out of nothing, time after time. Individual brilliance from the Russian captain. Michaela Blythe scores for New Zealand. Off that left foot, Teresa Fitzpatrick over the line. Portia Woodman creating something out of nothing. Towing it ahead, Nathan Wong, she's in. New Zealand champions of the Kitakyushu Sevens. So New Zealand arrive in Kitakyushu as the 2-time defending champions, and on top of the table they have France, Russia and Japan in their pool. Australia, Canada, that should be a nice tight battle. Pool C, really where it's at. USA, Ireland, Fiji and England. Good luck to those sides, seeing who comes out of that one. 3 very challenging pools in store on day 1. How did these teams get on? Nice tidy start from both teams so far. There's a good inside ball to the speedster Murphy Crowe. Are they going to get anywhere near her? I wouldn't have thought so. Amy Lee Murphy Crowe in for the first try of the day.
Tapper goes, it's Tapper time. USA striding through thanks to their top try scorer ever, Ryan Tapper. Megan Jones busting that first tackle, and look at the way that England are attacking, loading up so quickly. Helena Rowland is away, she feeds inside to Holly Aitchison, and England getting the perfect start to the second half, as they did to the first. Impressive.
It's a good throw, it's a good line out, and it's a lovely pass to send the attack underway. Higgins can't handle though, and it's there for Tapper, and Kirsch might break again off the Irish ever. Kelter on the wraparound, Alev Kelter steps inside, stretches, and she's there. Spain lead into the wind now, taken down. Strong take by Lucan, who's had a nice start to this match. There's a few changes. Brianne Nicholas on there in 4 for Canada as well. Karen Pakan in 7. Welcome back to the tour for her. And here's another one. Charity Williams with space out wide. Charity Williams has scooped it around the outside of Lita Urbina. There is not anyone going to get within a mile of Charity Williams. First touch, first try.
China gifting that opposition. The score, Charlotte Kaslik strides away, and Kaslik is back in town. Third try for the Aussies inside 5 minutes.
Going.
Oh, there's a little offload, and there is a beautiful try for Alicia Quirk. Incisive, thrustful, very positive. Tomigato sticking to her defensive chores. Canada just being forced a little bit further away until Crossley uses her power to break the mould. Landry says, Brittany Benn, have a go. Puts it to the boot. Benn going for the ball. Australia first to pick it up. Whoa! Opportunistic score from Kaylee Lucan. Is that an own goal from Australia? France get themselves onto the front foot very quickly. Grisey. Tired Russian bodies trying to get back into position now. Grisey again the link. Whisked out to Drouin. Drouin with the Kemba outside, and Serafina Kemba with the pace, the power and the leg stride to get through the tackle and over the try line.
For New Zealand, set to go. That's tough for Hillary to take. And coming up in the line, Sarah Hiddeny, the captain, skips out of a tackle, looks for a support, and she finds another of her old girls on the outside, and it will be Niall Williams in combination with her captain, Sarah Hiddeny, who busts open for New Zealand, and Niall Williams goes in under the posts. The draw still an option. Dedamaki, this is brilliant from Russia. They've defended like demons. And they've struck when they could. Now Tui's going to put the head down. Ruby Tui, can she run it in closer to the post for her kicker, Nathan Wong? In fact, it will be Nathan Wong who's going to go in under the bar. And Nathan Wong will have the chance to convert on full time and snatch a draw. So while New Zealand's winning run may be over, it may still remain unbeaten.
Well, if there's one team on the World Series that can do something like this, it's New Zealand.
Tyler Nathan Wong steals a draw for New Zealand. And that might sum it up, that pass, if Baker can get on it. As she's wrestled into touch, almost still there for New Zealand. They've got a long way backwards. And France, this will and intent, composure, they've ripped away. They might just grab one more before we're out. In fact, they will. And France, at the 22nd time of asking, will get their first ever win over New Zealand. The smile on the face of Chloe Pell sums it up. So what a day of upsets, history-making performances, and that leaves a quarter-final draw. Canada against Russia, USA taking on New Zealand in an absolute blockbuster, Australia against England, and France, perhaps one of the most impressive teams on day one, against Ireland.
Break from Crossley, the power play. Brittany Venn up in support, up over the 22. Having to veer away from Russian defenders, but here comes the support. Guess who? Oh yeah, Paquin is back in town. Canada over the try line, and that is a very reassuring score for the Canadians.
USA will look to build. Spinning one way, then the other. Now they try to go in. It's there for Robbins-Reti. She's pinched it for New Zealand. Brilliant work from Shay Robbins-Reti, and it's open for Williams. Tampa's going to chase. It's a yawning gap for Niall Williams to go through, and she'll score under the post for New Zealand. They strike from nowhere. It's Nathan Wong. Looks for Baker. It's taken down well by Amber. Fell a little bit awkwardly, but is able to clear well. There's Tarina Titamaki on the field for New Zealand in 11, having to shadow across the power runner of Christy Kerr. She fends her off. They're still chasing New Zealand. Kirsch has got too much gas. Christy Kerr is a star in the making for the USA.
Backwards.
Rowland struggling to get that cleanly away and giving away the penalty as a consequence. Australia need to go. 3 minutes left on the clock. Sykes, giving the ball away. And the match two, that surely is it as Aitchison accepts an early birthday present. And England really on the up.
France, who leads 7-0, as the second half gets underway. taken down by Shannon Izar. Nissan. Good ball on the angle for Mayan. And here's Izar again with Okemba outside. Now some space. She's got a lot of room, Okemba. Mulhall coming across. I'm not going to think she's going to get there. France busting them open from the restart. Serafina Okemba with her pace and power. The upsets continue. No New Zealand or Australia in the semi-finals for the first time in history. All North America, Canada against the USA, and all Europe in semi-final 2, England against France. Williams trying to get on the outside of Kelter. That's gone high, and I think Alev Kelter's in trouble here.
Yeah, that's costly for the U.S. They're so high in these tackles. I've been disappointed a bit. If there's any disappointments this weekend, it's been on the tackling.
Oh, that's clever. It's Landry who's chipped it through for Farella. Farella will get the points, but put it down to the genius of Ghislaine Landry. Landry, one way, then the other. Still going, Ghislaine Landry. She's got 50-odd metres to run and now 40. Well, they say that she's too small, but when you've got speed and heart and smarts like Ghislaine Landry, doesn't matter how small you are.
Water moves it away. Good footballing skills from Izar to trap the ball. Spun out to Siafani. Uren can't hold on. And Siafani gets another brace and forces France in front once again. The break from Abby Brown. Abby Brown stretches out. Is anybody going to get near the England skipper? Abby Brown hits the fast lane as the French defenders hit quicksand, and England respond with a score from the captain.
So our finalists are found into contention for the Cup. It will be Canada against England. The USA will take on France in the bronze final. It has been one heck of a tournament in Kitakyushu. Time to get into the playoff matches. New Zealand, Australia for 5th. But next up it is Ireland against Russia with Hall of Famer Phaedra Knight and your match caller Simon Ward.
Thank you, Ricky. Yes, we move into the final stages of this weekend. What a weekend it's been, full of surprises. There's the Russian lineup, familiar Russia lineup for Ireland. Well, Lucy Mulhall, the big absentee, she's injured, so she will not be playing any part in this final game. So a chance for some of those youngsters to step up and take the responsibility. Elena Mikhaltsova and Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe taking on the captaincy duties for this last game. Seventh place playoff, but it's not just about who finishes 7th and 8th, it's the match points that come with it in the table. There's the weekend that Russia have had the big moment for them, of course, that draw with New Zealand yesterday. Almost but not quite the win. Ireland started so well, then came clinically undone against England and not really recovered since. This is more than just about this match, though. Without wishing to name that horrible word Brexit, this is the European question as to who is going to qualify for the Olympics in Tokyo 2020 and who is going to push for a place through the standings or through the Rugby Europe qualification, or indeed, failing that, through the repechage next summer.
Stay on side. First half.
So vital points on offer for this one. 7th gets 8 points, 8th will end up with 6 points. That will focus the minds of both of these teams. Eve Higgins unable to find the 10 metres advance. Ireland on something of a winning streak against the Russians at the moment. This season they've won 3 from 3. Began in Glendale with a 21-10 victory. Continued that with a 26-0 win in Dubai, and then Sydney opened their campaign with a 31-10 victory. So Russia know they have to focus their minds. Passing has to be accurate. Once again, Russia unable to synchronise that back line.
Just a case of taking the eye off the ball for Seradina. Hit the line. Had she had that ball in hand, she may have broken away, but just bobbling forward.
Sit.
Ireland breaking round to this near side. Murphy Crowe pulled towards the touchline, has to let go of the ball, and it's Russia who take possession. End of a knock forward will allow Russia to put into the scrum.
I think we're seeing the consequences of a hard-fought weekend, fatigue, and really lack of focus. Attention to the details. Devil is in the details for sure.
Sit.
Food is there, and Lushina slips the ball away. The captain on the run, waiting for that cutting edge from Zdrokova.
Knock on.
But again, unable to find the unity really in back play that's been a problem for Russia today.
Simon, it's certainly a problem if you keep knocking it on both sides. Got to clean up.
Crouch.
Got to clean it up.
I mentioned that New Zealand game yesterday, and they seem to take so much from it. Almost, of course, took the win until Nathan Taylor-Wong's converted try right at the death. But they seem to extol so much energy. Did well to win that final game against Japan. Slicing through is Anna McGann. Opportunity here for Ireland to strike first. Emily Lane throws the ball out to Aoife Doyle. Higgins holding out left again. Penalty call goes against Russia. Lane invites the young star to drive away over. And there's a try for Eve Higgins. Scored a try in the opening game against Fiji. Now she's got forced her way over for a try in the final game against Russia.
Yeah, Eve Higgins, the benefactor of just some good execution, quick play off of the penalty for Ireland, using her footwork, and then really overpowering Hamadova.
Higgins has been one of the success stories for Ireland this season. Really has come of age, if you like. Still just 19 years of age. Doesn't turn 20 till the end of next month, or the end of June, I beg your pardon. But made such an impression in that last leg. It was named in the HSBC Sydney Dream Team. Started at 16, so still a relative rookie in rugby terms. There's a lady who is anything but a rookie. Hamadova has really had an impactful couple of days for her country. Russia linking through, but still having to work out of their own 22. Now they find the break, they find the gap. Hamadova hanging wide, cuts back in, and Hamadova breaks away. Russia respond with another try from Hamadova.
Yeah,
her sixth of the weekend.
Fantastic effort by Hamadova to run that underline, but it all started with the evasive run of Seradina. You see her really taking in the oxygen, does a great job to lure the defense to the right side of the field, and then Hamadova finishes off strong.
And strong is the operative word, isn't it, for that lady? Because in defence or attack, with the power she possesses and the pace, she has been impactful in defence and attack. And as you can see, running in the 5-pointers for the Russians this weekend. So Russia forced themselves in front. Just under 90 seconds left of play in this first half. Eve Higgins, good balance, good awareness. Flipped out by Aoife Doyle. Good support play from Lane and co. Now it moves out to this left flank. Higgins has Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe hanging out wide as she is wont to do. And they spin it back, looking to see what else is on offer. Russia working hard at the breakdown, but illegally so, says referee Kawasaki. Anna Baranchuk stepping up too quickly. Murphy-Crowe asking Higgins to put them in the corner. But the kick does not have enough welly on it, or does it? Daniel Lashuna thought she'd done enough to knock that back there, but touch judge on this near side in perfect position.
Big line out here for Ireland.
So
Take a second look here.
thank you.
Just barely Higgins clears touch.
Yeah, you can see her feet just dabbling on the whitewash there. Higgins taking over kicking duties in the absence of Mulhall, and in as playmaker as well. Showing the strength that we've seen from the youngster again. Russia illegally stopping the ball. Again, it's flipped out. This time, it's going to be Luke Alvin in the right place. So Louise Galvin crosses for an important score just before the break.
And Russia making it easy for Ireland with these costly penalties. And that's just a simple 1-2-3, ball through the hands, and in for Galvin.
Just a hint of a knock forward on that
Half-time.
tap forward, but the half-time whistle confirms that the scoreline remains in Ireland's favour. Half-time in this 7th place playoff. It's Ireland leading at the turn 10 points to 7.
Девочки, вы владеете мячом? Вы прекрасно владели. Алло, чуть пошире, глубину, у вас там преимущество есть. У вас один человек может обыграть. Только быстро тройку себе. Вы сыграли раз фазу, два фазы, получилась попытка. Завладейте мячом по ширине.
Характер включили. 3-4.
Россия!
The final games coming up in Kitakyushu for 2019. An Oceania clash there, but not in the medal positions. USA against France for that bronze, and then the big one. Canada up against England. Canada looking to go one step further than they did here 2 years ago. England with their first final in 16 tournaments. Good quick transference. Oh, and it's Shestakova. Daria Shestakova catching Ireland cold at the beginning of this second half and forcing her team back in front.
Yeah, and that's outstanding effort by Shestakova. What Ireland wanted to focus on coming into this tournament was to obviously bring their tackles to ground, align on defense, and they certainly failed to do so. Shestakova just coming in with a burst and upsetting that defensive line of Ireland.
Terrific conversion from Lushina just enhances that score. One of the twins, of course, we're so used to seeing on the circuit, now playing under her married name. Her twin, Marina Bystrova, not in the group this weekend. Galvin does well to get that greenside lane, just forcing the ball through. Ireland working hard off the ball, but Brittany Hogan finding hammered over, all over her. Again, the penalty call goes against Russia, though. That penalty count keeps totting up.
Yeah, got to be mindful of the penalties as we get later into this match. At this level, could be costly.
Nice, Steve.
5 minutes in Kitakyushu remaining for Ireland and Russia.
Number 8, sub.
Change in the Irish ranks as Megan Burns replaces Aoife Doyle. Burns,
Here, thank you.
what a special weekend it's been for the 19-year-old on debut. Capped at Rugby Europe level. Got injured before Glendale. She was scheduled to make her first start then. But the Leinster lass trained for a year and now representing her country on the biggest sevens table there is. Oh, a lovely little line inside. Ireland onto the front foot lane, challenging those defenders coming across. Higgins quick to pull the ball back. Russia shutting the door. Galvin. The cut back from Claire Bowles. Bowles in this weekend, replacing Audrey O'Flynn. There is Burns. Murphy Crowe. Forcing it outside. Higgins steps inside. And Eve Higgins gets her second try of the match. And this topsy-turvy game continues to go one way, then t'other.
Eve Higgins with her second match, second try of the match. Not really putting too much effort into that because the ball did the work for Ireland. Nice crisp passes, clinical to hand. And she just steps off of that left foot back in.
Well, it's the all-court game of Eve Higgins that seems to have added so much to the Irish cause this season. You can see from that stat just how this game has gone. Is your money on a Russian score to follow?
Well, if they're going to hold on to this lead, they certainly have to increase their tackle completion rate from 57%.
The slenderest of advantages to the ladies in green. Benefiting from that knock-on now.
And that's good pressure on off the kickoff.
And into the final 3 minutes of this game. Leaden legs, lack of oxygen, have to be ignored as they press their claims for the highest possible finish. Mikhailtsova is making her way over here. The Russian captain has had a different weekend from last year when she was top try scorer with 11 tries.
Yeah, time now.
She's had a barren weekend from that point of view, much as she's done plenty else in terms of tackles, in terms of carries for her team. Kikina comes on in her stead.
5, 7.
Begins ranging through, catching Kikina cold, trying to get the offload out the back door, but maybe that just wasn't the occasion.
Thought she was going to get a hat trick there.
Just see as she came through there, made the break, catching the substitute out, but there she tried to transfer the ball across.
Saradina, outstanding defense to knock that ball forward.
5, 7. Steady.
Ireland in 6th at the beginning of this weekend in the HSBC World Rugby Women's 7 Series standings. Russia just 2 points behind. So the points on offer in these final 90 seconds could be invaluable as they press for a ticket to Tokyo 2020. Strakova, wrapped up by Murphy Crowe, comes back for a second dab at Danilova. Russia working their way up towards halfway. Ireland working quickly to slam the door shut for Elena Strakova. They know the pace that she possesses, but once again, the call goes against Russia at the breakdown.
Well, that was really good defense by Ireland to prevent the offload, doubling up on those tackles, and then isolating the ball carrier on the ground.
Play now. Sorry.
So Ireland looking to be as pragmatic as possible in the last strains of this game. Well, Mickot's over. No sooner has she gone off than she's back on.
Number 8.
As Russia desperately try
Set, please.
and make something happen in the final play of this match, the final play of their campaign for Kitakyushu 2019.
Thank you.
Lane. It's accurate darts that pays off. Ireland just have to hold on to the ball now. Well, they're going for glory. Higgins slaps off one defender. Well, the captain does the job, but does she reach the touch? Well, in a manner of means, it gets there. The final whistle goes.
Sorry. No side.
And that is no side, yes. Referee Kawasaki just checking. The ball had not gone out of play before the clock reached 0. And it is Ireland who takes 7th place here, Russia 8th, with the slenderest of leads, 15 points to 14.
If it's a foot race, you got to come second to Nathan Wong.
Nathan Wong with the offload, it's beautiful.
She is the diamond in the team.
She attacked the line, slid through it, and goes over.
She's world class.
They're not going to get anywhere near Tyler Nathan Wong.
Nathan Wong with a classic try-saving tackle.
Nathan Wong with some footwork. This is absolute class.
These two teams are well used to playing each other for bigger prizes. Now they have to dig deep within themselves as New Zealand and Australia battle for 5th place here in Kitakyushu. It has been a tough old weekend for both of these sides. New Zealand losing its winning record. Australia not being able to get back to a cup semi-final. Start for the teenagers Soraya Paki and Lily Dick Mahalia Murphy as well for Australia. New Zealand going with their strong starting lineup. Sarah Hirini able to find a smile out of a difficult weekend for New Zealand. Charlotte Caslick ready to lead out Australia as well. Ricky Swan-Allen, Tiana Penatani in for this one. Well, they're so used to performing on the big stage, but this is a different mentality, trying to pull it out. One big finish for these teams.
Yeah, that's right, Ricky. There's a long-standing rivalry between these two high-achieving nations, and both campaigns falling short of the main goal this weekend, but still a big job to do and a huge match ahead of both of these sides. Every time they come up against each other, we know it's full on. So Australia, they look dominant on day one, but day two is where it really counts. They can be vulnerable when they're in defence for long periods of time and when they don't commit to a breakdown and don't look for those turnovers. But New Zealand, there's no doubt about it, they've had handling errors after handling errors, which has been detrimental to their game in big moments today.
Sarah Cox, the referee. New Zealand plays Australia for 5th place in Kitakyushu. Tyler Nathan Wong to get this match underway. The first time these two great champion teams have played for 5th, but 5th it is. They haven't been up to the standards of the other sides. New Zealand, though, ready to take things on straight away. Good hit on Caslick. Good hit by Caslick, excuse me, on Nathan Wong. As Hirini tries to get it out wide quickly. Moving on early to Falia Fanga. Emma Tonegato, the only player in there, was told to let it go and did so. Listen to the referee's instructions, always a good idea. Nathan Wongs, New Zealand spread side to side. Saili, and again Caslick around the ankles. Paki over the top. Australia asked to defend early. Little flick ball for Tui for Hirini. Going herself, Sarah Hirini stepping her way through the Australian defence for yellow jerseys around her, and they didn't get a hand on the New Zealand captain.
Sneaky little offload there from Ruby Tui, just drawing that last line of defence, and Sarah Hirini read the play so well. Here it is, carry from Ruby Tui, commits 2 defenders and flicks it out the back to Sarah Hirini, who was just hovering and waiting in support there. New Zealand, high intensity from the get-go here.
Tyler Nathan Wong from out in front converts the Sarah Hirini try. New Zealand captain, she's had to lead the way, show her leadership this weekend and from now on. She scores first in the 5th playoff.
Sorry.
Nathan Wong, the restart is shallow, in fact it's short. And it's allowed to bounce, and it bounces over the 10-metre line, and Alina Saili was the most aware. Good work at the breakdown. No, a penalty, in fact, at the breakdown. White Williams plays on quickly for New Zealand. Quirks rushed up on Tui, who heaves it along the line for New Zealand. Here's Hirini again. Tonegato brings her down in a good tackle. Falia Fanga, one-on-one with Murphy. Falia Fanga goes again, still there. Falia Fanga! Oh, did she get that down? We're going to have to check. It's going to be an extraordinary effort if she's got this down, guys. Falia Fanga.
Coxie.
Try yes or no. We need to check the ground in, please.
Have a look for you now.
See Mahalia Murphy, the look on her face, determination to do everything in her power to prevent this 5-pointer.
Sarah, you may award the try.
Yep.
Try is given, effort upon effort, and Dice Falia Fanga just showing why she's been marked out as a future star. The 18-year-old scores her 5th try in Kitakyushu. That one may be the most special.
That's unbelievable there from Falia Fanga. You wouldn't think she was on debut. She's been playing like such an experienced asset to this Black Ferns side.
Kick is just short from Nathan Wong. Here it is again. What work.
It was initially the carry from Sarah Hiddeny, but to keep the ball alive and pop it off the ground rather than wait for support to steal the ball, and Faliafunga was in the right position at the right time. One-on-one with Mahalia Murphy. That's no easy feat.
Well, New Zealand have made a fast start to this. Australia yet to get a hands-on ball. Haven't even had a single pass, a single touch. And they're not going to get another one just yet either. It's all New Zealand at the moment. Nathan Wong will take on the line again. That little flick ball for Tui and another. Well, New Zealand putting on a bit of a show at the moment with some of the handling. The chase coming across on Saili. She's strong. Saili stretches out. Playing with abandon at the moment, the Blackfern Sevens.
Elena Saili, she's been so hard to handle, giving teams grief all weekend. She's such a threat when she's got ball in hand, but it's the change of angles and stretching Australia from one edge to the other. And Saili, she was on the receiving end of some great footy, just some flick passing out the back. That's all it was, nothing special.
Kick from the opposite side is just away again. 17-0 New Zealand lead Australia.
Restart retention has been a huge asset to this first half for New Zealand. 3 from 3. You know, in big games, restarts are so important, and it's another form of the game to regain possession.
Now they get another go. Nathan Wong is looking for Williams and Saili, and it's a knock-on from Australia, so it's another restart that goes New Zealand's way. The error from Murphy. Hiddeny trying to take Toneghetto on the outside, can't do it, and throws it away to Quirk. So now Australia finally have their hands on the football, and Kazit tries to step away through the Black Ferns defence. Penalty New Zealand, held on too long, and they played it on the ground. New Zealand, you can just see they really want to play with pace, upping the tempo again. Misunderstanding between Tui and Williams. We have seen a bit of that this weekend. Ball to ground, connection's not there. Oh, Tui didn't see Murphy in the blind spot as she was standing still. Willison to Hiddeny. Here's Faliafunga again, one-on-one with Toneghetto. What's Faliafunga got this time? Toneghetto goes in it. She sees her off. Faliafunga, pace and power, tries to get rid of Sykes. Still going, nice Faliafunga. She's going to fend off another, and the inside ball to Sarah Hiddeny. But put it down to the teenager, Dice Faliafunga.
Beautiful scenes there. The old ball and the youngster. Dice Faliafunga, hasn't she been amazing? She's too strong in contact, certainly earning the right to wear a black jersey. She fends off Toneghetto. And then Emma Sykes as well keeps the legs pumping and sees her support runner, Sarah Hiddeny, her captain, just waiting. As always, Sarah Hiddeny, she puts herself in the right places at the right time and just slots herself in the support pocket, ready to receive an offload.
Well, it's been a whirlwind from New Zealand as the conversion goes over as well. 24 points to 0. So often, we see players backing themselves as the try ticker nears 200. You see them back their pace on the outside. Faliafunga backs their power. What's tricky in that sun. Bat down again by New Zealand. This time it was Tui. Nathan Wong, Tui playing with real intensity and grit. Ruby Tui. Australia just penned in their own half, having to make tackle after tackle. Willison running a little bit sideways, pots a little ball to Shakira Baker, who's sneaked onto the field, gets rid of Toneghetto again, and now clinging on as Kazakh still trying to go. Shakira Baker dragging Australian bodies with her. Power game coming to the fore from New Zealand, and now it's Tui ranging on the outside, and she carves down through the middle with the change of direction. Great covering tackle from Elliot Green. Too little, too late. And New Zealand grab a 5th try at the stroke of half time.
About time she was rewarded for her efforts, Ruby Tui. She's been an absolute workhorse, as always, throughout the duration of this weekend. But Niall Williams, she is phenomenal with ball in hand. Ruby Ruby Tui just hitting a nice underslide, a huge chase there from Elliot Green. Bit spooky when you've got Elliot Green hot on your heels.
Heard those footsteps beating down, but Ruby Tui had enough to get there, and another conversion is good. Well, New Zealand playing this first half of the 5th place playoff angry, and they will take a 29-0 lead into halftime.
Ah, thank you very much.
Get possession here, okay? Get start by building possession. Forget about the score. I don't care about the score. I want you to start building possession. I want you to put some phases on them. What we need to know what we can do against them when we've got the football. We literally have to play one more than one phase up. Okay? It starts with getting the ball back. Okay, it starts with getting the ball back. All right?
Yeah, let's restart now.
Yeah. Shani's on.
Yeah.
Okay, Shani's on for Soraya.
Just start a bit higher, start right on the 10, force it to go over to our back from there. Okay. Make the bucking contest body on it, just start a bit closer to the line. Yeah, sweet. Let's go, girls. We got this, guys. Come on, let's go. We need one of yours. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Let's go, hungry.
Two more games to come here on the final day in Kitakyushu. For the bronze medal, it will be USA against France, and then our cup final. For the first time ever, Canada will play England in a cup final. We cannot wait for that one. For now, it's a simple equation for Australia. Get your hands on the ball.
Yeah, they've had zero possession that whole first half. They made 10 tackles, missed 5 tackles, which is huge against a team like New Zealand. But it seems to be a successful game plan against this Australian side. Starve them of the ball, force them to make tackles, and they'll open up eventually. England and now New Zealand have done it well.
Shani Williams with the kickoff to start the second half. There's a big error from the co-captain. So they're not going to get the possession just yet. I guess it begs the question we've seen in the past 2 matches where this New Zealand side was on day 1 and earlier on today. Maybe the pressure's off slightly. Willison, lots of bodies in motion. Tui, Nathan Wong knocked down by Tonegato, who's got quite the bandage around her head, and because of that knockdown, it's only going to get harder for Australia because Tonegato goes to the sin bin.
Australia usually pride themselves on being one of the most disciplined teams on the World Series. Not this weekend. 3 of the last 3 penalties have gone against Australia.
Willison and Nathan Wong, the 2 creators, trying to make something for herself. Tyler Nathan Wong sized up the option. The belt set up perfectly. Tyler Nathan Wong, a little piece of individual brilliance.
Perfect vision there from the wizard, Tyler Nathan Wong. Racking up 3 tries this weekend in Kitakyushu, but so much experience from this woman. This being her 29th tournament, so she's played in big games. She knows what it takes. She just racks one up for herself. Nice little 5-pointer.
Well, with Australia down to 6, it's never going to be the cover there. Can't quite finish off her own work. The try, they forge ahead. Tyler Nathan Wong, 800 points for her now. Still got a bit of way to go to catch up to her teammate Portia Woodman, and some distance to Ghislaine Landry, but creeping up is Tyler Nathan Wong. Oh, again, Australia let it bounce, but it's this time fallen their way. Lucky for Australia as Quirk goes into contact. And now Green gets hands on the ball, and they finally get a penalty. They get something. Australia, Quirk stayed down. They'll play on without her for the moment. Keslick trying to create over halfway into New Zealand territory. It's a rare foray. Rushing up in defence was Robbins-Reti. Oh, Green held on to it well in the end, so just tries to reset for her team with her strength. Again, Robbins-Reti was able to rush up in defence, but she slipped, and that allowed Keslick to go through a big gap. Murphy's able to control it. Nicely done by Mahalia Murphy, and now Australia finally with hands on ball and finally gets some rewards. And the try goes to Mahalia Murphy.
We knew it was going to be something special that needed to happen to break this staunch New Zealand defence. And Charlotte Caslick, the vision there just to carry it. She saw the shooter in New Zealand's defensive line, so she took the opportunity to run through the middle of the field. Saw a support out wide in the form of Mahalia Murphy. Got a fend out. Too powerful. Will it be enough for Australia to catch up?
The conversion will help. Another 2 points. 34 points to 7 now. New Zealand leading Australia. 3.5 to go. It's a good take from Terina Tetamaki into the sun. Williams, Robbins-Retty. Williams again, demanding it back. Ball shoveled on, and they'll need to do it again, New Zealanders. The Australian defence came up on them, and it went forward in the process. Good decision from Murphy.
Yeah, big decision she needed to make there. Usually going against policy to shoot out of the line and leave your team vulnerable. But the tackle needed to be made, otherwise there was a clear overlap 2 on no one.
Stay in the contest, please, both sides. Crouch. Bind. Set. Leave her alone.
Caslick gets that scrum in. Oh, it's a real mess.
Look,
So
it's just coming out at the same tunnel. Okay, you need to engage. You need to hold that strong for me, please, okay? Let's go, hold, girls. Right, stand there, please. Crunch. Bind. Set.
Free kick for Australia. And that's going to be a penalty. Robbins-Retty, no way was she back for that. Caslick goes again, spins the ball out to Tonegato, who shovels it along for Green. 1-on-1 with Saili, and finally, there's been something of a drought this weekend for Ellia Green, but finally she hits the mark. That is her 100th try for Australia.
Still just under 2 minutes to go in this match, and big players like Ellia Green really need to step up. We haven't seen much of her this weekend. It's been all of the opposition, especially on day 2 today, but good patience there from Charlotte Caslick to catch the defence offside, and she knows she's got her firepower out on the left edge in the form of Ellia Green.
Congratulations to her. She's one of the dynamic game breakers in this sport. We love watching her in action, and Ellia's 100th is Kitakyushu's 200th. It's a towering restart from Sykes. Brought down wonderfully by Robbins-Retty, but it just squirted out of the back of the ruck, and Hedoni couldn't catch up with it, so it means Australia's got some more ball here, and this is a good fight back from Australia. Traherne in contest with Hedoni. Now gets to ground. That ball was out. Shani Williams did well. Hedoni drags her down. Trying to dance her way through. It's Caslick hit hard by Nathan Wong. Gets up and goes once more. Caslick. Sykes. Leaks, and then cutting in is the speedster. Tonegato weaving away, and the offload there for Sykes. She wants to go and get on with things, Emma Sykes. Why not? Conversion is over. Here come the Aussies.
Emma Sykes just in support there from a phenomenal run from Emma Tonegato, hitting a switch line as she does so well, and just ducking and weaving through the black jerseys. Finds Sykes in support.
Well, they're playing on quickly, and they're going to go again. They've caught New Zealand off guard. Caslick with the massive bend, and Australia are rolling. Look at the intensity they're playing with. And they've scored 4 tries in quick succession.
Won't be enough though for Australia, but they've been starved of possession all day today. They just want to get ball in hand, and this is how dangerous they can be. Australia go bang, bang.
Time for the kickoff. Won't be enough for Australia. 8 points down. It's been the ultimate game of 2 halves, that's for sure. New Zealand 29-0 at the break. And Australia want one more. Oh, Hedoni. I think she's had enough. trying to get that ball back for New Zealand and get out of there, but instead she gives away the penalty. There's just nowhere for her to go.
I must see the tap.
The runner tries.
Okay, we're ready to go.
Momentum swing.
Let's go, please. Let's go, please.
Caslett, a playmaker for Australia, heaves a big ball out. It's a good ball out for Sykes, and then another for Australia. Yasmin Meeks is ranging out. That's got up high, that tackle. Sykes will play again. There's no way either of these sides are letting up. Australia want one more. The ball, into the gap for Tonegato. Probably should have taken the line herself. It's still there for Green. Spinning out of one. Caslett wants her to go into contact, and instead she goes out into touch. And finally, this match, this try-scoring frenzy will come to an end. And these two great rivals have gone hammer and tongs. In the 5th place playoff, New Zealand bouncing back from disappointment to take 5th in Kitakyushu, 34-26.
So after 32 games, we get to our penultimate match of the weekend, the bronze medal match. As you can see, two teams that know each other pretty well. USA with the call this season, 2 from 2 there. Let's take a look at the lineups. Chris Brown, well, Alif Kelter not starting this one. Nicole Heveland also, like the semi-final, not going to be in the starting 7. Lauren Doyle does take her place there. For France, well, familiar lineups from David Cortex. Lauren Doyle and Fanny Horta bringing the teams out. It's 8 apiece in the 16 encounters between these two in this tournament. And if I tell you that the average points are 16-15 in the USA's favour, I guess that gives us a taster of how tight this game's going to be, Phaedra.
Yeah, I think it'll be a flip of the coin. Both of these teams a bit disappointed not to be playing in the final, but both feel pretty positive for rattling and defeating the Black Ferns this weekend. The U.S. looks simply outstanding on day 1, and during the quarterfinal earlier today, stronger than we've seen. They'll be looking to cure those handling errors they had against Canada and the missed tackles. So I'm sure they want to leave Japan with the bronze.
Tyler Miller from Australia in charge of her last game of the weekend. Those 2 wins for the USA in the Cup quarterfinal in Dubai and in the semi-final at Glendale, both just by 2 points. So who is going to respond the strongest, rid themselves of the disappointment of those semi-final defeats? Marias out to Doyle. A cut back by Elena Marr. Chris Thomas getting involved as the playmaker in the absence of Kelter. Tap up. Good, strong power play. The signature really of this USA team. So many crossover sportswomen that bring something different to the sevens mix. Legally on that occasion, which will allow France their first saute towards the USA. 22 to Kemba up against Tapper. Carla Neeson looks short-side, and Carla Neeson gets through Farmesi for the first score.
And one of the things the U.S. needed to do coming into this match was steer clear of the penalties, eliminating these handling errors, and most importantly, stopping the bleed of this kind of action. And this is just good heads-up play and really confidence for Neeson to take Joanne Favesi one-on-one and win it.
Well, the strong, positive start from Carla Neeson and co. The memory is still very vivid of that success that they had here 12 months ago, got to the final, and really seemed to kick-start their fortunes, because, of course, the final followed in San Francisco in the Rugby World Cup. Unfortunately, both times they were up against the dominant force that is New Zealand. Passing of USA not going well, and Chatteramran by a tackle almost getting into an unfortunate collision there, but the ball is still there for the Eagles as they try and work their way out of the 22. Maran takes that little pop from Medias.
Release.
Up towards halfway go the USA, but the ball goes loose, and it's France first to react. Bertrand gets the offload in, and guess who? It's Siafani, the top try scorer this weekend, continues to rack them up.
Simon, it's been all about Siafani for France. She has stamped her name definitively on the top try scorer and line breaker in this tournament, and you see France just working so hard in the rucks to turn the ball over and opening up that middle for Siafani to take it in.
Consistent try scorer for France this weekend. Every single match she's managed to get across the whitewash in some way, shape or form. And France working themselves into a quick lead in double figures inside 4 minutes. Well, Chris Brown making an early change with Alef Kelter coming off the bench. There she is. Medias out to Doyle, out to Mar against Siafani. Mar gets the better of her, but Siafani's going to come back for another bite. But it's not in time, and that is a good response from Ilona Mar, showing good pace, good power, and USA really needed that score psychologically.
Yes, indeed. Mar not getting very many opportunities to stretch her legs this weekend, but this is really strong ball distribution, timely by Lauren Doyle into the hands. Mar relieved to get it to the try zone.
And Kelter showing good accuracy with that drop conversion. My goodness me, we have seen some wonderful conversions this weekend. It has been a feature from various members of various teams, Duran being one of them.
Play on. Knock on in the tackle. Knock on only in the tackle. Scrum.
Well, 12 months ago, France started here with a huge victory over the Eagles, 36-0. They set the stall out for how they wanted to operate that weekend. Successful as it proved, USA struggled to get themselves through these 2 days and ended up winning the Challenge Trophy, so a 9th place finish. Of course, things have changed a lot since then. The USA taking the bronze in Sydney, 4th in Dubai, starting with that silver in their home encounter in Glendale. Duran waiting for the ball, but being held in. Medias is going to make the most of this opportunity. Mar on her shoulder. Look at the numbers out wide. That's a very, very good tackle from Coralie Bertrand. swamping the ball, not allowing it to come out. Drew out in with the big hit. Kelter staying strong in contact. Tapper waits out wide, now she gets a chance. Drouin not letting her go. Thomas. France hunting down the ball carrier in ones and twos, determined to swamp the momentum, but out it comes in the end, and it's going to be the captain, Lauren Doyle. USA's patience pays off, and they tie things up just before we get to half-time.
Very patient drive by the US. They were a bit frantic earlier in the first half, down, but you can tell they gained a little bit of composure, took some deep breaths, and just let the ball do the work. Lauren Doyle with her third try, fourth the day.
Kelter's conversion is not able to add the extras, so as history shows us, this is going to be a tight one, and the scoreline repeats that feat with nothing between these two sides. At the turnaround, it's 12 points apiece.
You in the game? You fought your way back, yeah? You got 7 minutes to play before we're flying on the way back. So do it together. Get excited. Okay, you held on the ball, but you're making our framework zone look great. Okay, it's taking a long time, but you are holding on the ball. So well done. But can we just trust the frame? You play it away, you support, you split around. The snap's on, you call it, that's split it. And then it'll start to flow. If you don't have the ball, you can put your butt off for each other, okay? Hear your voices. Talk them out of the game, don't drop it. Talk them out of the game.
Try and pass to the B. I don't care if we score out wide. USA on three. 1, 2, 3. USA! 3 ball, 3 ball.
The final game coming up, the big one of the weekend. Canada against England to lift the trophy here in Kitakyushu. Well, Chris Brown, the USA coach, extolling his team to get excited. 7 minutes time, we're heading towards the airport. He says, make the most of those 7 minutes.
Well, he knows that when they play with joy and loosely, they have very good results. It's been demonstrated all weekend long.
Nice ball.
Medias doing well to flat that one back to Kelter.
Go, go!
Kelter, whose yellow card in that semi-final really cost the Eagles Canada running in 2 tries in those 2 minutes. Lovely break from Medias, and it's Tapper. It's Tapper time. Another try to Naya Tapper.
Naya got ball in hand, and she took off. Absolutely stunning. You can see Mattias here with the nice draw of the defense to open up the floodgates for Naya. She's really running like a fugitive who's trying to escape death row, if you really think about it.
There's an image I could do without. I'm sure that's not in Naya Tapper's mind at the moment. All she knows is that 5-pointer has been turned into 7 and has put the USA back in front.
In all seriousness, she ran with the urgency that U.S. needs to continue to put forth.
Oh, huge aerial collision there.
Stop.
Medias is...
You've taken the player in the air.
Gonna see yellow. I'd like to see that one back because that looked like total commitment from both players. Serafina Kemba feeling the full force of Medias coming through. Let's just take a look at this. Eyes on the ball.
Let's go, please.
Fair call, I guess. The contact is there. Kemba fit to return to duty. Uzar. Well, that's a huge throwaway from Serafina Kemba. the drive there. Tapper wants it. Tapper was free. The ball wasn't released. It is now. France coming through quickly. It was Kitakyushu who made the break. Tapper was screaming in her ear for that pass. Kirsch make amends there. Almost, and done it. Well, Kitakyushu atoning for that error just seconds before.
The little engine that could, she did. I mean, that's just power in the legs by Kirsch, and core strength like no other. Look at her just dragging Okemba.
Kirsch has really made an impact on this USA side. 5 tries on debut at Sydney, and the tries have kept coming here in Kitakyushu. Only been playing a year.
A little over a year, yeah, brand new soccer player, playing up in a small college in the northeast of the U.S. and found rugby less than 2 years ago, started playing, and here she is.
A potent force for the USA to use. Still down a player. France have to make something of it, but again, handling just not quite what they wanted to be. Okemba unable to pick that one up. As that sin bin comes to an end, it hasn't affected the USA.
Sorry, just hold.
Media's absence.
Thank you. Time off.
Well, they've actually run in that try from Kirsch, so it's all going the way of the USA at the moment, as it has been in the previous encounters this season in Dubai and Glendale. France have to find some answer, some possession and some territorial advance. Tapper's not having it, 7 on 7, but it's Tapper who comes away, and once again, it's Tapper time for the USA.
Okemba thought she had her. Tapper just kept the feet driving. Those jersey tackles can always get you. Take another look here. Lauren Doyle doing a good job of keeping the ball alive and pitching it out to the speedster. You see she slips under 2 players there for France. So strong, virtually impossible to take down.
Yet another great conversion. Alaf Kelter again showing wonderful football skills. There's Nicole Heveland, obviously not going to play a part in this final game.
Hands off. Just time back on.
Time being called back on by Tyler Miller. Well, Chris Brown asked his team to get excited to enjoy this final half of rugby this weekend. And these charges have certainly complied with that wish. Okemba and Thomas battling for possession. Okemba with her knees down on the floor. Gets the call, and France try and move it away. Passing just not quite accurate enough. Chloe Powell unable to pull that one in.
Yeah, France very little possession in the second half.
White 3.
And those opportunities missed there. Horta just could not connect to Chloe Powell.
Well, France yet to really hit the heights that we saw them reach last year. Started with that 4th place in Glendale, but unable to really proceed 2-6 in Dubai and Sydney. Not the progress that they were hoping for on the back of the finish to the last campaign. USA, by contrast, well, 2 medals and a 4th in Dubai. Overall 2nd in the standings.
Blue 7.
Chris Brown, in his first season, of course, having taken over the reins from Richie Walker, can be satisfied, if not pleased, with the way that they're progressing.
Yeah, Chris Brown's done an outstanding job taking over this team. He was working with them even prior to coming on board as the head coach a couple of times a week. But he's put into play some strong structure.
Good handling skills. from the USA, releasing Kirsch again. Kirsch gets the little offload back in to the captain, Lauren Boyle. That is a very, very well-worked try from the USA. They've really got France under the cosh in this second half, and they have not taken their foot off their throats.
Captain?
Yes.
We're going to restart.
Simon, take a look. Lauren Doyle connecting on both sides of Kirsch to deliver that really delicious pass, and then receives it back from Kirsch. Super support. And then she absorbs that hit pretty well too, don't you think?
And I think it's going to be a penalty restart for the USA as a consequence of that push from Akemba. Indeed it is. So look at those tries racking up. There's only 8 more tries to go before they're level with the record tries in the weekend. Good hit coming through from Shannon Izar.
Hands.
Last play of this bronze medal match here in Kitakyushu. France looking for a final flourish. But it's not going to be there. That's it. USA take the bronze as they did in Sydney. France, well, they might have produced the UL mark of excellence with that win yesterday over New Zealand. But they finished fourth, a creditable fourth. But this one, as in previous matches this season, has gone to the USA Eagles a little more comfortably than we've seen previously. 36-12, a pretty emphatic scoreline.
Russia's in for another.
Mikhail Sova sitting at the top of the try-scoring list.
Mikhail Sova once more. Gosh, she just creates something out of nothing, time after time. Individual brilliance from the Russian captain. Michaela Blythe scores for New Zealand. Off that left foot, Teresa Fitzpatrick over the line. Portia Woodman creating something out of nothing. Towing it ahead, Nathan Wong, she's in. New Zealand champions in the Kitakyushu Sevens. But there'll be a new name on the Kitakyushu Sevens trophy as we have a look at the series standings. New Zealand sitting at the top, USA, Canada and Australia. We'll wait to see the final wash-up and whether things have changed after this weekend in Kitakyushu as Canada against England in the cup final. For England, it's a chance to win their first title since 2016, while Canada hasn't taken top spot since 2017. Having fallen short in Dubai earlier this year, Canada have won 4 of the last 5. In fact, they've won 7 of the last 8, with England's last win coming here in Kitakyushu last year. For Canada, they will start with Charity Williams in jersey number 6, the strike weapon out wide, the hard workers, the likes of Ben Crossley and Pecan, who's been excellent. England, Holly Aitchison has been an utter standout, as has Alex Matthews, and well led by the captain, Abby Brown. The coaches, John Tate of Canada and James Bailey of England. Two teams who have earned their places in the final with composure, defensive tenacity and game-breaking speedsters as they walk past the trophy that one of the captains will hold aloft in about 20 minutes' time. I'm Ricky Swanell, and it's a pleasure to have alongside me from Australian international Tiana Penatani for this final, a different final, an exciting, exciting matchup.
Yeah, absolutely, Ricky. Well, these are the moments that you play for Sevens can be such a brutal sport in that only the most successful teams that turn it on the day will progress through the competition and get a shot at a cup title, despite all of the hard work that each and every athlete puts in and day out. So for these two teams, it's navigating new waters here. This is the first time that they'll ever meet in a cup final in series history. And as you mentioned, England will play their 4th cup final in series history, and Canada, they've won 7 out of 8 of the past matches between these two, but England, they look strong, they look confident. Canada, they've been the silent assassins creeping throughout this weekend, just getting the job done, doing what they need to do to bump themselves up the ranks. What a match we're in for. I'm so excited to see these two go head to head.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the game begins at this time, we ask that you all please rise for the national anthems of both countries. First, the national anthem of Canada. Next, the national anthem of England.
Miles a mile wide in the England team. They have longed to be back in a final. 2016 was their last appearance. They've got a good record, a good conversion rate. They've won 2 of their last 3. Canada have won 3 out of their previous 10 finals. It is a clash of the most experienced team in Canada, the most capped by tournament. England have got 7 players 21 years or younger in their squad. Amy Perrott gets the final honour in her return to the World Series. Yep. Canada against England to decide the Kitakyushu champions. Ready and waiting. The anticipation builds. And we're waiting for the clock to tick over. The match to start precisely on time.
Just waiting for the countdown.
The first time these teams have met in a cup final. Richly deserved to be here. Who can see it out and complete an outstanding weekend? Ghislaine Landry of Canada sends the ball high, and it's into the arms of one of England's rising young stars, Celia Kwanzaa. Speaking Speaking of Holly Aitchison, who's been a standout for England, she will clear and set her team away for their first period of attack. And Alex Matthews rumbles forward. Nice steady start. Wilson Hardy had made the little run, but there was no way to get the arms free by the ball carrier. Bodies collide in midfield. Eddie Brown, the England captain. Canada's defensive line looking nice and settled early on. They've just crept up offside and giving away the first penalty of the final.
Just a moment here to release the pressure there for England. Ill-disciplined, too eager at the breakdown there. Two players from Canada offside, and England will try and edge their way upfield, kicking it into touch.
Helena Rowland is a good touch finder for her. Ghislaine Landry, she was exceptional in Canada's semi-final win. Good line-out ball for England off the top into the hands of Aitchison, and then a good ball on the angle from Rowland, chopped down and an excellent tackle by Williams. It's still there just for England. No, Canada get hands on ball for the first time, and it comes off an excellent tackle by that woman there, Charity Williams. Ben trying to release the speedster Farella, who swerves in field. Brought down by Megan Jones, wrestled for the ball. Callers play on.
Release now, White, please.
Williams plants it back. Landry take it to the line. Crosley's brought down. Bianca Farella, leading try scorer, likes to get in and do the hard work as well. It's not all glory, all it was forward. It was a good option to release Pecan, but it floated forward.
Nerves running high in the first minutes of this cup final. Slightly forward there from Green Shields. Just the timing there. Karen Pecan should have held her depth a little bit longer for a couple more seconds.
Crowd.
You did this side, Giz.
Fine. Set.
Holly Aitchison feeds the scrum. She's got Megan Jones tucked away on her left, and now Jones is going to come in off the angle, and a penalty against Canada again. Another one offside. You can feel the tension among these players. Change of direction from Jones again. Megan Jones trying to put some fancy footwork on Pecan, who rarely misses a tackle like that. Aitchison clears for Matthews up the middle, and there's Aitchison again. Holly Aitchison to the line. It's opening up here for England, and Rowland loose carry though as she looked to release. The ball bobbled clear, and Brittany Benn will try to exploit the side here for Canada. Farella on the outside of Quatsa. Quatsa coming back at Farella, running away from her, still going Bianca Farella, and eventually is taken down by the England captain Abby Brown. It's a 60-metre surge by Bianca Farella. Williams and Crosley across the face again from Pecan. That one was flat but not forward, and it's ripped away by England. Good defence from England. It's been a feature of their game all weekend.
Holding on.
It's been a massive point of difference. Megan Jones just getting great body position over the ruck there.
It's an illustration of the work being put in already. Megan Jones. The final is a stalemate so far.
The last three penalties have gone to England. The advantage has gone to England, and they've been against Canada.
Yeah, they can do that. Okay. Time on.
So both coaches ringing the changes. Kaylee Lucan on there at the front of the line out for Canada. Stripping around her legs.
Yeah, that's fine.
Emma Urin
Watch her.
onto the field as well for England. It's a nice takedown by Abby Brown again. Charging in midfield is Jones, but she's well wrapped up and looked after by Green Shields. Aitchison and Matthews. Charging hard, Alex Matthews still going. She's got away from Landry. Landry comes at her again. This time pulls her down just short of the 22. England swing on to attack. Rushing up in defence is Williams. Still there for the England team. Wilson Hardy. And here's Uren, one of these promising youngsters in the England team. Oh, a little juggle from Eddie Brown. Held on to it though. England play on. Aitchison working down the short side through Jones again. Aitchison takes on the line herself. Farella is there, still going. Willie Aitchison. Meters short now. England, it's dug out and it's opened up. And she'll never score an easier one. Well, Amy Wilson-Hardy, the only player in this England team to have lifted a trophy. And Amy Wilson-Hardy strikes for England.
That's right, Amy Wilson-Hardy. She knows what it's like to have a taste of finals footy. But they're so hard to handle, these strong English athletes, so powerful in contact. And it's what's committing more than one defender from the Canadian side, and the opportunity opened up for Amy Wilson-Hardy just to finish it off. For what was a slog and a grind there initially for England.
That's a rare miss, the conversion from Holly Aitchison, who's been on form with the boot, but Amy Wilson-Hardy, the elder stateswoman of the England team at 27, scores the first points of the final. The restart is driven long down into the 22. Farella. Little to stand in the tackle again and wait for her teammates to arrive and help, and it comes in the form of Greenshields. Now Landry chipping ahead. There's no one really able to chase it as the ball goes down the centre of the field, so Abby Brown's got plenty of time here to swoop it up and try and set up the attack for England and make an absolute mess of it, England, and all the time in the world, and it's given Canada a chance to strike before half-time. Lucan goes herself and then can't find Crosley. It's going to swing back the other way for England. Wilson-Hardy with a sloppy ball out the back, and Rowland might decide we'll go to the break with a little lead for England. A real arm wrestle of a first half in this cup final in Kitakyushu, and it's England who nudge ahead 5-0 at half-time.
Up and get after it. Right? Standing deep like we're going to receive the flat. Get up and get after it. That's all. Right? You get the ball, trust it. The wingers have got to hold some depth. Right? Twice now, we're up flat with that last person, putting them under pressure. Right? Give a little bit of depth. Call for it early. You can always power stuff.
Keep working three, speed, and then working a little bit wider on those stretches. Okay? So thinking split field, stretch. All good?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Girls, don't fucking stop now. Let's go. We work early, get in good position, we fuck them up. Logic!
Our apologies for some of the language as we go into the second half of the cup final. England with a smidgen of an advantage, 5-0.
You can see in that first half, both teams are still staying within their comfort zones. They're so desperate to hold on to possession, hold on to the ball, that they don't really want to overplay their hand, but it's going to take the team that wants to step up and play confident style rugby that'll take out this match.
Second half underway. 7 minutes to play to decide the champions of Kitakyushu. Landry taking on the line herself, Landry, but Rowland, she fell off the tackle and Landry got another couple of metres. Farella getting on the outside. Oh, Nicholas had done well to hold on to that. Brianne Nicholas had overrun the ball and it was a bit heavier than she had expected. Canada maintained possession only just. Farella trying to get up through the middle again. Well looked after, this time by Holly Aitchison. Ben. Sustained period of possession for Canada to start the second half.
Okay, it's an unplayable. Team going forward.
We'll hold on to it.
There's unplayable. Team going forward.
Well, that's not a stat our Canadian fans will be want to see at the moment. But yes, we can think back to the men's tournament in Singapore recently. Wonderful comeback by South Africa to win, so Canada will be looking to replicate that as they swing on to attack with Landry, and she's the woman to do it. Lucan just running out of a little bit of room, so had to check her run and prop back in field. Kaylee Lucan. Nicholas taking the line hard with Maleski, the veteran. Ben looking to create something for Farella. Just a little bit lateral at the moment. Still with the ball though, and that's the main thing for Canada. So they try and find an equalising try. Crossley. Ben, Landry had made a charging run, didn't get the ball, so Nicholas has to go into heavy contact, and England, well, their defence has been so suffocating, so smothering all tournament that has to be the option, a kick in behind the defence for Lucan to chase, but they'll be able to get back there in plenty of time, England, and it's tidied up by Emma Uren. She held on for it too long, though. Good pressure came from Kaylee Lucan, and here comes Landry. Oh, she held up over the line. Jiz Landry, as close as you can get without scoring. Pressure on the England defence. The line bending, but it's yet to break. And Holly Aitchison looks to have stolen it for England. That is wonderful work on the line.
Holding.
That's a big play there from Aitchison. She's been outstanding for England this weekend. She's made the most tackles for England, and her defensive effort has been phenomenal. A great chop tackle there from the captain, Abby Brown, and Aitchison. Perfect timing on the ball. Canada just letting the penalties creep in this match.
10 white side.
Time starting to tick down, under 4 minutes to go in the final. Is there an individual game breaker to crack this open? Or is it the team that takes it? Kaylee Lucan with the big play to steal the line out. And a penalty as well, couldn't roll away. There was no getting out of there for the England defence. Landry, ball bounces for Ben, and that just allows England a little more time. Nicholas shovels it along to Farella. Farella one-on-one trying to get on the outside. Ellie Kuldan, who does well. Pressure mounting, Canada, Landry stepping. The ball's jolted loose out of the hands.
White 9, sub.
Not very often will you see an error like that made, and it was Roland who put the pressure on, wrapped up Landry in the tackle.
Just on me, please.
The tackle needed to be made. But they've had opportunity after opportunity in their own 22, Canada, and they haven't been able to capitalise with ball in hand.
Happy?
And that's a real credit to the pressure that England have been applying in defence.
Yeah, just wait for the ball out. Okay? Sorry.
Three visits to 22 there from Canada and 0 tries as a result.
It's so unlike them as well, with the weapons like Farella and Charity Williams as Aitchison steps away. Oh, good hands on the outside, but slammed into touch, ball thrown away, there's feeling. It's a high tackle though. Landry asking the question. It was on Roland, who almost got on her outside.
We just spoke about the penalty count, this becoming the 5th penalty in this match. Desperation from Canada. They need the ball in hand. They need to score points. England, they've just got one job here, is to keep the ball in hand and out of the likes of Canada.
Oh, that's really mounting, isn't it, against Canada? Such a disciplined, well-drilled team. But England probably forcing that pressure as well. Lucan tried to disrupt, and it's Williams who is the most urgent to the loose ball. Lucan is scragged by Brown. And it's ripped away. Another good steal by England. This time, I think it was Abby Burton who got in there and stole the ball, picked the pocket. Brown trying to catch the Canadian defence off guard. Now they spread for Kildunn. Kildunn can't get on the outside of Britt Ben, this rugged Canadian defender. Aitchison in midfield. Shot down by Williams. Oh, there's so much will and intent from both of these teams. You can feel the tackles from up here. And that's crept up a little bit high as well. Another penalty against Canada.
High tackle.
They're under so much pressure now, Canada. 1 minute to go in this final. And it's the strong carries here from England. They play a nice offload game, so Canada are forced to have to go up top and wrap the ball up in the tackles, which has resulted in penalty after penalty with high tackles. 45 seconds to go, and all England need to do is hold on to the ball, secure possession.
We're good. I think we're just going to play out.
Time off. Let's hurry up, please, or I'm going to keep calling time off. Hurry up, or I'm going to keep calling time off. Back on.
Over.
Aitchison throws, and again, it's their skipper, Abby Brown. Oh, that's flat, and in fact, it's forward. Oh, it might be a missed opportunity for England.
Absolutely, we just spoke about it. All they needed to do was hold on to the ball. There's 10 seconds to go, but Canada in possession, and we know that they've got game breakers. We know they've got Bianca Farella out there who can score a 70-metre try.
One more chance for Canada.
Set.
One more set for England to hold out. It's off the foot, is it, of Charity Williams? All play on is the call. There's a scramble for the ball. Canada have to retain it. They get a penalty. That lets them off. Now they're set to go. Taking a big deep breath is Karen Pakan. England's defence has been absolutely stoic, and it just needs to hold a little longer. Canada, though, with their game breakers, and it's in the hands of one of them now. Williams, Charity Williams, what can she create? She's got a player outside her, still going. Charity Williams stops and props and goes herself up over halfway. So Williams will be stuck there for a little while, out of the play. Landry. Pakan stepping her way through. There's the ball for Landry. Cheers, Landry sizing up the options. This could be the moment for Canada. Ben Landry. And now Williams. Quincer coming across and covered. Now Kildunn. It's still there for Charity Williams. England scrambling, hustling, trying to defend to desperation. Farella gets it to ground. Well into overtime in this final now. Pakan over the 22. Penalty for a high shot. Can Canada steal it at the death? Williams, Brittany Ben, Farella. She's got Kaylee Lucan outside her. It's a good tackle on Farella. And another one covers across Ben. As Knowles play on is the call. It falls for no one else but Ghislaine Landry. And nearly 2 minutes after the final hooter, Ghislaine Landry goes in under the post, and she will have a conversion to win the final in the most extraordinary fashion. An unbelievable moment from an unbelievable player. When you need your stars to come to the fore, Ghislaine Landry does it for Canada. Here's the final try. Extraordinary finish.
This is an unbelievable scenes. They were down for the count, Canada, and they held on. And what a moment in this woman's career, Ghislaine Landry. She's the architect of all of the success, the silent achiever. She orchestrates all of the play. She's the mastermind behind the attacking style for Canada, and she comes away with the win.
An unbelievable final, a simply spectacular finish, 7 points to 5. Canada take it in the 16th minute of the match with some Ghislaine Landry wizardry, scooping up that one-hander. And for England, they had done it all but. They scrambled and hustled and fought their hearts out. It's been a wonderful turnaround for them in this tournament. That will hurt a wee bit.
Yeah, just pure heartbreak there for England. They had a 15 tournament drought, the longest active drought for any team on the World Series.
There's the bench of England. They thought they had a knock on. They thought it had gone off the hands of Ben, and now stunned silence, bewilderment almost. Well, their captain Abby Brown, coach James Bailey bringing their team together. Remember, this is an England team. 7 are 21 years old or younger. They've been 8th and 6th. They were 10th in Sydney. So now to get to this point, runners up, represents a big shift for them, and now they need to continue it on. And I'm sure Abby Brown will be saying something to that effect. They know they've performed well. They know they've had a really good weekend and just fell literally at the last gasp.
Well, it was their last cup final win that we saw them in their absolute best form. The likes of Heather Fisher and Emily Scarrett were amongst those players, but this is exciting here for England.
Well, let's go sideline now. Simon Ward has with him Canada's coach, John Tate.
Yeah, with Canada's head coach, John Tate. John, a fascinating final, a fascinating finish, wasn't it? Have you ever had a finish like that before?
We had a couple go the other way against us here a couple years ago. New Zealand beat us in the last play of the game, so we know what England's feeling right now. I just want to congratulate them. They played a really good tournament and a great final, and I'm really proud of our girls just being able to pull it out and show the belief that the game is still there for them.
Yeah, and keeping the faith right till that final play. This is a big moment for Canadian rugby, right?
It is. We haven't been on the top of the podium for a while, so it's good to get that back and that belief. And I don't even think we hit our full stride this weekend. I think we played some good defense and we had some good turnover attack in patches. But it's pleasing when you can win ugly and still get a result. It gives us a lot of confidence going for a home tournament.
Well, you're smiling after winning ugly. Enjoy that win. Congratulations.
They had such a tough time here last year, finishing 11th, a lot of injuries for the Canadian team. And what a reversal. And we can go straight back down to Simon, who has with him the player of the final.
Yeah, today's HSBC player of the final is the Canadian captain, Ghislaine Landry. Jeez, congratulations. It's a kind of a good way to finish your 30th tournament, I reckon.
Oh, unbelievable. The whole weekend's been such a grind and such a fight, and that final was exactly the same, and to finish it out with the win, it means so much.
Did you keep the faith? Because, you right up to that final play, it was, will they make it? And it was such a slender lead.
That's what all the training's for. I mean, we work so hard at home. We're training so much, and to be able to put it on show in a final and finish it in the last, times up and to finish it at the end, it's a testament to the work that we're doing back home, and so proud of the girls.
Well, congratulations. Noria Suzuki has a presentation to make to you as the HSBC player of the final.
Congratulations to her, and soon, very soon, those will be in the hands. Well, we also have the UL Mark of Excellence, the moment of the tournament, ones that have special moments throughout, and we picked, well, the history-making French team, their win over New Zealand in pool play, and Simon now has with him Chloe Pell.
Yeah, some fascinating games we've had this weekend, but none more so than France ending New Zealand's 38-game unbeaten streak. What a game it was yesterday, and that's our UL Mark of Excellence. Chloe Pell, who scored that final try yesterday. That was a very, very special moment for French rugby, right?
Yeah, sure. We always build our group on victories such like these, like beating England for the first time, beating Canada for the first time, Australia, and New Zealand was the only team we haven't beaten yet. So yeah, after 21 games, we finally beat them. So yeah, it felt great, felt nice, it was awesome.
And not only for French rugby, but for the other teams in this series, because they know now that New Zealand are beatable.
Yeah, maybe. We don't know. I mean, even if we won once, they're always extremely difficult to beat, because they're a great team, an incredible team, and well, it's going to be hard to beat them again, but we'll do everything we can to do that again.
Well, a very special moment on a big weekend. Presentation now from Karachi Hiroki for that UL Mark of Excellence, which goes to France.
Nice work from Chloe Pell and her French team, the UL Mark of Excellence. That's what they were all playing for. And 12 teams who have fought their hardest all weekend. We head into the presentations. The bronze medalist USA, our presentation party, Norio Suzuki, the head of international institutional business at HSBC Japan. Dr. Ichiro Kono, World Rugby Board member. The JRFU Vice President, Mr. Hiroshi Ogawa, Governor of the Fukuoka Prefecture, and Mr. Kenji Kitahashi, the Mayor of Kitakyushu City, that has hosted this wonderful tournament for the 3rd year in a row. Been gracious and warm hosts in the United States. Good finish for them, Tiana, to be able to come away with that bronze medal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they showed some signs of excellence throughout the weekend here in Kitakyushu, and there's no doubt looking forward to Langford and Biarritz to close out this season. There'll be lots of competition, and just again upping the level of competition here and upping the level of rugby. I think most teams across the board have performed some of their best and some of the most skillful games of rugby over the course of this weekend, and it's a real testament to see how much the women's game is growing at such a rapid speed.
Very consistent season so far for the USA, yet to find the knockout blow for England to head up and receive their silver medals. As I said earlier, the turnaround from this team has been quite something, from 10th in Sydney to 2nd in Kitakyushu, and with the youth, the exciting players they have, and some great leaders. Megan Jones coming back into the side has been a great addition. Alex Matthews, Abby Brown and Amy Wilson-Hardy have led them well. And our presentation party awaits our champions. Brittany Ben, Kayla Molesky, Charity Williams, and Breanne Nicholas. Kiara Wardley, how's your debut? It's not always like this, but you'll take it for the 19-year-old in her first tournament. Kaylee Lucan, the veteran, back into it. Karen Pecan, what a return by her. And Julia Greenshields, an ever-present force in the Canadian side, as is the next player up, Bianca Varela. Alongside her, Emma Chown. Caroline Crosley, rock solid for the Canadians this weekend. Olivia Epps, injured out of the tournament. She was the 13th player. And then the final one, the captain, Ghislaine Landry. It's been 2 years since they've been in this position. Consistently professional, clinical, hard-working, and now the reward. As Canada lift the HSBC Kitakyushu Sevens trophy. And why not do it again? It's a richly deserved reward for this hard-working, strong team. Of course, they will head home to Langford next. As we see the series table, New Zealand, Canada jump up to second ahead of the USA now. USA still in third and Australia fourth. France trying to close that gap, as is Ireland, and England have made a big jump as well from 8th rather up to 7th in the race for the title and the, of course, all important Olympic qualifying spots. DHL impact player, recognising those all-rounders who do the hard yards. Charlotte Caslick finishing near the top. Great to see Yumi Harano and Chenko Yi, the Japanese and Chinese players there as well, and good England representation too, a measure of the work they have done. It was tries here in Kitakyushu this weekend, and what do we finish on? 212. They've been scoring them at will because these are fabulous athletes, game breakers. And as Canada lift the trophy here in Kitakyushu, we will next head there to Langford in May. That'll be our next tournament on the HSBC World Rugby 7 Series. We'll hope you'll join us then.